This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome back. So now here in this session, we are going to configure account payable. In previous session, theoretically, I explained about, I've given some explanations about this account payable and all. Now here we'll do the configurations. So if we talk about account payable, guys, let's suppose, so what I said here, say for example, since we have set up 2 account right now, so say for example, Tata Motor has taken its whatever the corporate building is there on rent. So every month we are going to receive a rent invoice from vendor. So in that case, let's suppose vendor name is XYZ Builder. So now what is happening, guys? So we are receiving a rent invoice every month. So your rent account is going to be debited with certain amount, and this builder XYZ Builder, that is vendor account, is going to be credited. This is what the entry which is supposed to be posted in SAP, right? Now this rent account is a GL account. It is also called GL master. So this GL account already we have created, right? Apart from this, if any additional GL creation is required, say for example, even Tata Motor is taking audit services also from a particular audit company. So that audit company is also supposed to be created as a vendor. First of all, that audit company is going to be treated as a vendor, and this audit fee GL is also going to be debited, and that audit form is going to be credited. So if you have to set up audit fee GL, then pretty simple, guys. We can use FS00 transaction code, okay, and then we can set up this GL account. But do we need to do any configurations before creation of GL master? So I'll tell you guys, no, it is not needed, because whatever configurations are required, let's suppose chart of account group, number ranges is going to be given against account group itself. So whichever configurations are required is already done. We have already done with the configuration part, right? So configuration, every time it is not going to happen. It is one time setup that we have already done. Now if you have to create 100 GL, you can create 100 GL, 200 GL, there is no issues. Now likewise, so here GL account is getting debited. GL account is already created, or else if needed, we can create further more GL accounts also. What about this vendor account, guys? So this is also a master data. This is also a master data. So here vendor account means what, guys? Vendor account means here this is also supposed to be set up into SAP. So before setting up a vendor account, we need to do certain configurations. What are those configurations, guys? That step by step I'm going to explain. So this is vendor master. So before setting up vendor master, we have to do certain configurations. And what are those configurations? Let's have a look here one by one. So first of all, okay, this is already explained. First of all, we have to define vendor account group. We have to define vendor account group. Now, what is the use of this account group, guys? I'll tell you. If you are able to remember, during creation of GL master also we have set up account group. So account group means what, guys? Group of similar nature of master data. In case of GL master, group of similar nature of GL master. In case of vendor, group of similar nature of vendor accounts, right? And the major important thing is it controls the fields which appears during creation of master data. In the sense, at the time of vendor master creation, whichever fields are appearing, that is going to be controlled by vendor account group. At the time of creation of GL master, whatever fields are appearing, that is going to be controlled by GL account group. And the same thing is applicable even in case of customers also. That is going to be covered during account receivable. Okay. Right now we'll talk about account payable. So here, first of all, we have to set up account group. What does it control, guys? So account group controls the fields of vendor master. I'll show you guys. Let me log in first, and then I'll show you how it is going to control. Now, set up one account group here. So how to set up account group, guys? Look at here, the transaction code is OBD3. So here I'm going to use this transaction code OBD3, press enter, click on new entry, and this account group, you have to give a 4-digit code here, right? So I'm going to set up one account group itself, guys, and this one I'm going to give here code as a TM00 itself, so that it will be easy to remember. Our company code is also TM00, account group also I'm going to give, and here let's suppose Tata Motor account group, vendor account group, or else Tata Motor itself, descriptions just give here and save it. So now here I have created the account group, one account group. Look at here, double click on general data. Okay, so here field status, whatever the, if you are going to set up the vendor master, at the time of setting up vendor master, the entire we are going to give certain inputs over there. So whatever the inputs are going to be given, guys, entire inputs are going to be segregated into 3 parts, that is like general data, company code data, and purchase data, purchasing data. Double click on general data, look at here, these all fields are there, guys. Okay, in general data, what is happening? The fields related to name, address, PO box details, phone number, fax number, email ID, everything is going to be part of general data. So if you have to, how the control is going to happen, guys? Let's suppose this name to field is not required, you can suppress it. Name one is like required entry, you can click here. Optional means anyway by default it is optionals, right? So or else like you want display means what? The field is going to appear over there, but it will be there in display mode only, right? This is what the things. So this is how the fields already, this is covered in GL master, guys. So hope you guys are able to understand now. So what I have done, I have created vendor account group, save it. What next, guys? The next one is create number range for vendor account. So whenever we are going to set up a vendor, let's suppose this XYZ builder, ABC audit firm, right? Or is any, whatever the n number of vendors are there, guys. So whichever vendors are there, first of all, that vendor supposed to be set up into SAP, right? Now, so before setting up the vendor account, we have to do some configurations, right? And whenever you are going to set up a vendor account, when the, let's suppose XYZ builder is going to be set up into SAP, SAP is going to generate a vendor number. Let's suppose this is the vendor number. So how system is going to generate this number, guys? So for that, you have to define a number range. It means we are having control that whatever vendor numbers are getting generated, those number belongs to this particular range itself. Let's suppose 1000 to 1999, or else any other range you can give. Okay, so here if you guys look here, I'm going to give small range only, 1000 to 1999, 2000 to 2999. Why? Because as I told you, that small number range means it will be easy for you guys to remember your vendor number. But in real time, this range will be, the length of this range will be like first this 1000 to 1999, right? In real time, it is going to be 10-digit number. Okay, 1000 to 1999, this number range is going to be consumed very soon, isn't it? So now there might be a question that what will happen? What will happen if we consume, if the entire number range itself is going to be consumed? So I told you guys this 1000 to 1999, I'm going to give during here in my configurations. But in real time, once you become a consultant, and if you have to define a number range, we are going to give a huge number range, 10-digit from range is going to be given. it is going to be there in million, right? For a particular company, how many maximum vendor could be? 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. These were the number of vendors, even if it is a very huge organizations, right? And that too, they're having if the multiple businesses in different countries are there, right? In that case also, how many vendors will be there, right? So the number range which we have given, that is there in millions. So it is impossible to consume the entire number range during the even like 100 years also. Such kind of range is going to be given. 10 digit means huge range. So here for your practice, I suggest you have to give 1000 to 1999. Okay, if provided if it is not defined by anyone, if it is already defined by anyone, if somebody has already given this number range, then better to use this number range itself, or else you have to define a different range. I'll show you. So here, let's suppose if you click on back button. Okay, now how to define number range? XK N1. Click on interval. Now look at here, guys. How many number range has been defined by people already? These many number range are already defined by people. Several. If I'm going to give 1000 to 1999, let's suppose code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All is given, right? I'm going to give alphanumeric. Like here, I'll give A1. Numeric code they have given. I'm going to give alphanumeric. Okay, so any code can be given, guys. Numeric, alphanumeric, alphabetic, whatever it is. And your from number is 1000 to 1999 and press enter. If you press enter, look at here at bottom, system is showing enter interval without overlap. It means whatever number range I have created, if you come down, okay, this is A1 here. So whatever number range I have created 1000 to 1999, it is overlapping somewhere. Now where it is overlapping, guys? So of course look at here, somewhere it will be, somewhere somebody has already defined this number range. So you have to find out, guys, somewhere it is going to overlap. So 2000 to 2999 somebody has defined here, right? Likewise, even 1000 to 1999 is also is defined already. This is why, look at here, no, this is our only, right? Somewhere, anyway, it's going to take, look at here, like P1, somebody has defined this. 1000 to 1999 is already defined by somebody. So that is why what is happening, guys? It is going to be, system is saying that this is overlapping. See, overlapping doesn't mean that entire range itself is going to match. Even if the single digit, if the single number is also going to clash with other number range, then also you are going to get the error. I want to define this number range, whereas somebody has already given 1 to 1000. Somebody has already given this number range, and I'm going to define 1000 to 1999. It means the first number 1000 is having, it is clashing here with this one. It is like, it is here in this range also 1000 is there, and this range also 1000 is there. So again, system is not going to allow you to set up number range saying that your number range is overlapping. Why? Because this 1000 is already given here. So how come it possible that you are also going to be started from 1000 itself, right? So you have to start from 1001. In this case, system is going to allow. So even if one number is also going to be part of a different number range, in that case also you are going to get such kind of message that interval without overlap. So in that case, what is happening, guys? In that case, system will never allow you to save your, if I'm trying to save it, look at here. Look at here, system is not allowing interval without overlap. So what will happen, guys? If you are able to define your number range, it's okay, or else need not to spend too much time that, okay, let me find a unique number. It's going to take time instead of, spending time on this number range, because there is no much logic in number range, right? Simply you use existing number range. Let's suppose somebody has defined already P1. Why not to use P1 itself, right? So I'm going to use number range P1 itself. Now what I have done, account group. Account group I have defined, that is TM00. My number range that I'm going to use, P1, right? What next? The next one is assign this number range to the vendor account group. I told you guys, number range is having certain control. Sorry, account group is having certain control. What control, guys? Account group controls the fields of, let's suppose we are talking about vendor account group, right? So vendor account group controls the fields of vendor master, and it also controls the number range. How the account group is going to control the number range, guys? So look at here. Let's suppose we have defined a number range here in XKN1, right? And this number range is going to be assigned to the vendor account group, right? OBAS, use transaction code. Let's suppose this P1, let's just assume that P1 has been defined by you only. Or even if you are able to define a new number range also, it's okay. So I'm going to assign this P1 against your account group. Get back to transaction code OBAS. Okay. And then here, TM00 is your group. So P1 is the number range which I'm going to use. Save it. Now what is happening, guys? How system is. So how account group controls the number range? So look at here. Now, if you have to create a vendor, we are using transaction code XK01. Whenever the vendor is going to be set up, guys, vendor is going to be set up that I'm going to show you practically again, but just for the explanations. Company code TM00. Okay, and here the what do you say? Okay, guys. Now, whatever the configuration document I have attached here, in that like I have given TM01. The company code is TM01. So don't be confused. It's like it has nothing to do with like you cannot say like okay here in configurations I'm using TM00 and then here in the recording I'm using TM00 and in configuration document it is TM01. See, it could be anything. Company code, whatever I have given, this is just given for the example, right? When you're going to set up your company code, you can use a different code. You can use like X101, like X001, or is XM01, or is XA01, right? ZA01, ZB01, anything can be used. So company code here, you need to understand the concepts behind all this configurations and all. Company code could be anything. I'm using Tata Motor, that is why TM00 or TM01 or TM02 or TM05, it could be anything. Okay. So now here, while creation of vendor, first of all, we are going to give the company code. It means this vendor is going to be set up against which company code, guys? TM00. Now, account group. So account group, let's suppose my account group is going to be also TM00. So look at here, guys. While setting up the vendor is going to be set up against what? It is going to be set up against a particular account group. So if you give all the details at the moment you are going to save this settings, in the sense the moment you are going to save this vendor, then what is happening? System is going to trigger the account group first. System will search like against which account group this vendor is getting created. So system found the account group is TM00. It is already given here, right? And against TM00 OBAS. So system is going to search against TM00 which number range is assigned. So it is P1, right? Then again in background system is going to search against this P1 which number is there, right? That is XKN1, right? So against P1 I have given, guys, against P1 it is 1000 to 1999. Somewhere it was there at bottom. 1000 to 1999. So this is how system is going to trigger. Somewhere it is. This is how system is going to trigger this number range. This is how system is able to trigger the number range, right? Now, so what I said, account group controls the fields of vendor master. At the same time, it controls the number range also, because number range whichever we have created is going to be assigned against account group itself, right? And vendor master is going to be set up against account group. So first of all, system is going to trigger the account group. With the help of account group, system is going to trigger the number range code, and against that number range, from that range, system is going to generate the vendor number. This is what the logic. Now look at here, define tolerance group for vendors. This is also, guys, this is also a setting here. Tolerance group we have to define for customer vendor as well. Previously, what we have done? Previously, we have defined a tolerance group for users and GL. The same logic is there to define this tolerance group for customer vendor also. Let's suppose I have posted an invoice what up 1001, and vendor payment is going to be released. So we have made payment in round figure, let's suppose 1000 itself. So there is a difference of 1 rupees, right? So now here, you know that every debit must be having equal credit, right? Every debit must be having equal credit. Then only it is going to. So now here, what will happen, guys? Now, so okay, so here there is a difference of 1 rupee. So here what is happening, guys? If the differences are there, then system will not allow you to proceed further. So we are going to define a tolerance limit, a tolerance group for customer vendor also. Okay, there we are going to define, like we are going to specify a particular amount, that okay, how much differences, till how much differences can be accepted, either 5, 10, 20, 100, 200. So this is going to be, you need to explain the concepts. Your client is going to tell you, okay, till 20 rupees is going to be accepted, or till 20, whatever your currency is there, till 20 USD or 20 rupees or 20 euro, whatever the currency is there, they'll say that in till 20 or 30 or 50 or 100, this much differences are going to be tolerable. So this is what the logic behind defining the tolerance group. So I'll just do one thing. How to define tolerance group, guys? Look at here, OBA3 is the transaction code. So here, define this. I'll just do one thing, guys. Use transaction code OBA3 and define a tolerance group. Okay. So here, company code, I'm going to give TM00 itself. Okay. Now, don't give anything in the group field. If you don't give anything here in group field, then what is happening, guys? This tolerance group, blank tolerance group, is applicable to all vendor by default. Okay, if you are going to give a code, then at the time of defining this vendor master, you have to assign this tolerance group to the vendor master, then only it is going to work out. But here, if you don't give any code, then what is happening? Without assignment itself, system is going to consider this tolerance group. Okay, so now here, keep it blank and give a description. This grace days due date, nothing to be worried about. Once there will be a topic called automatic payment program. There I'm going to explain the logic. There also we are having configuration step. You'll be having that. So better not to give anything. Here we are going to give, let's suppose, gain and loss. Just give this amount only. Okay, and save it. Control it. Nothing else I'm going to give, guys. Apart from this, whatever this fixed payment terms is there, that is not explained yet. Payment terms I have not explained yet, so don't worry. Now, so here I'll just do one thing. This gain and loss means what? Say for example, in case if the invoice is 1001, we have made payment of 1000 itself. There is a difference of 1. This is called gain. At the same time, if it is 999, in that case also we are going to make 1000 and there is a difference of 1. This is your loss, right? So gain and loss, that is what we have specified over here. Now here, what next? The next one is creation of reconciliation account. Try to understand, guys, the concept behind the creation of reconciliation account. It means like what is the concept behind creation of reconciliation account, that I will explain. Now, okay, and here I have written post vendor invoices. First of all, after that we have to create the vendor master also, right? Create vendor master, that is xk01. Save it. Now, so here creation of reconciliation account. What is the use of this reconciliation account, guys? Why are we going to set up this reconciliation account? That I'll explain. Try to understand the logic, guys, because most other people, they know how to set up the reconciliation account, because this is reconciliation account is nothing but a GL account itself. How to set up the GL account? It's quite easy. What is the logic behind creation of this this GL account, guys? Why do we set up this GL account? That I'll tell you. Say for example, we are having, I'll just remove these things. So we are having multiple vendor. Okay, multiple vendor like A, B, C, D, E, F. These all are the vendor. Okay, these all are the vendor. Against every vendor, certain invoice is posted. All these invoices are due only. Okay, all the invoices are due. Now let's have a look. So guys, we'll do one thing. Now here, so this is our vendors. Okay, and here this is invoice amount. Now this is invoice amount, and then, so if you talk about this 5,000, this amount is not paid yet to the vendor. In the sense, like whichever these amounts are there, this is the payment is not made yet. We have just posted the invoices. We have just posted the invoices, right? So these all are our payable. This 5,000 is payable against this vendor, right? Likewise, 4,000 F, Z, and H. So these all are the vendor. So now here, for individually, if you talk about the individual vendor, like what is the payable of E, like 2,500, which we have to make payment, right? This is our liability. This is the payable. If you have to calculate the total payable, okay, if you have to calculate the total payable, what is happening, guys? Simply we are going to 3,600, sorry, 36,000 is the total payable amount, right? 36,000, that is the total payable amount. So what will happen, guys? Now we do one thing. Okay, so here 36,000, how I have calculated, guys? Manually I have calculated, since we are in Excel sheet. I'm using Excel sheet. But in SAP, if you have to calculate, then you have to check the vendor balance of, like the balance of this vendor, then the balance of this vendor, then the balance of this vendor. So manually, if you are going to calculate, guys, how much time it is going to take? Because if, let's suppose, if any organizations, they'll be having thousands of vendors will be there. So every time, like if one by one you are going to check the vendor balances, and then if you are going to get the consolidated figure, then how come it possible? If you are going to publish the financial statement, we are not going to show in financial statement, like you have to show the liability. So liability means like let's suppose if you are going to count like what is the liability means like your whatever loans are there, right? That is your liability. Likewise, and multiple other things also will be there, but likewise here, whatever the account payables are there, this is also our liability. We must have to make payment of 36,000 rupees or whatever your currency is there in that currency in future to the vendor. So this is our payable, this is our liability. So how to calculate this total liability, guys? So individually it is not possible. Individually it is not possible to calculate. So now SAP has given a very simple concept here that create a real account, that is called reconciliation GL. Okay, create a real account here. Okay, and what to do? Let's suppose a single GL I'm going to create. The GL code I've given 2000. This GL I have created for account payable. This GL is going to be at the time of creation of vendor A, you give this GL account. Likewise, against every vendor, I'm going to use this reconciliation GL is going to be linked. It is going to be linked. So here, if you posted, let's suppose invoice worth of 5,000 rupees against this vendor, then this amount is going to be updated against this GL account also. Likewise, this amount is going to be updated against this vendor at the same time this GL account. Likewise, the same thing is going to be repeated against this vendor and against the same GL account. So what I said, if you have to calculate the total, let's suppose if you have to calculate the total payable, right? If you have to calculate the total payable, guys, how it is going to happen, how the calculation is going to happen. So instead of calculating manually, now we are going to have a look on this GL account. This GL balance itself, we are going to check it. So here, if you are going to check this GL balance, you will be having, system is going to show that this 36,000 is the total payable, right? So this is how it is quite simple to get the total payable, guys. Instead of checking one by one vendor balances, if you are going to check this GL balance, you will come to know that, okay, the total payable is 36,000. This is what the logic, and the more explanations and the more understanding you guys will be having, there'll be a topic called financial statement version. So what is the use of that financial statement version and how to set up, that is going to be explained in details later in the later classes. Okay, so there again you'll be able to understand the advantage. Okay, in financial statement version also, simply we are going to link this GL account, and if you are going to link this GL account, then all these balances are going to be updated automatically. So now within a fraction of a second, the entire payable is going to be, it is going to appear over there. Again, like if you are a beginner, first time you are doing this practice, then you guys will not be able to assume like what I'm trying to say here, right? So that's what I'm saying. Just you wait for that session, in the sense like in in upcoming session, this financial statement version I have explained. So there you will be having this understanding. Right now we are talking about account payable, and that too I said what is the use of reconciliation GL, right? So reconciliation GL, what is happening, guys? With the help of reconciliation GL, you are going to get the consolidated figure of total payable, right? This is what the definitions you can say. If somebody is going to ask like, what do you mean by reconciliation account, and why do we set up this reconciliation account? If we don't set up, then what will happen? So guys, you should be ready with the logic. Everybody knows that reconciliation account is a real account. Still lots of people are going to be rejected because they don't know the logic, right? So this is what you have to say, that reconciliation, with the help of reconciliation account, what is happening? We are going to get the consolidated figure of total payable. Okay, and this reconciliation account is going to be linked with financial statement version, as I told you, like that is going to be explained in upcoming sessions. That is there in upcoming session. So what is the use of this reconciliation account, guys? Getting a consolidated figure of total payable with the help of reconciliation account itself. If reconciliation account is not there, then if you have to count the total payable, then one by one vendor balances we are going to check, and then we have to count. It may take entire day also, 2 days also, 3 days also, depends upon the number of vendors, right? So this is what the use of reconciliation account. So what we have to do, we have to set up a reconciliation account also. Create a reconciliation account. So now, how to set up this reconciliation account, guys? Just do one thing, /n fs 00 and set up this reconciliation account. So I think it's logged out. In online server, guys, what is happening if you don't perform any activity for 5-6 minutes or 4-5 minutes, then automatically the connectivity is going to be broken. So in that case, you have to log in once again. So let me log in once again, guys, because the connectivity got broken. So let me log in here. Now, so here, how to define reconciliation account? As I told you, this is a GL account, right? So use FS00. With the help of FS00, we are going to define the reconciliation account. Now, reconciliation account means what is this? What is the name of this reconciliation account, guys? You can give the name like account payable. So account payable, whatever account payable is there, that is your liability. So under which account group it is going to be set up, guys? We have already created an account group called liability account group. If you are able to remember the number range against liability account group, then you can use the first number. And if you are not able to remember, in that case, I'll suggest you to use OBD for transaction code so that you guys will come to know. Okay, if you're going to use OBD4, then here you will come to know. Look at here, TCOA is your chart of account. So look at here, under this chart of account, multiple account group we have set up. In that itself, here we are having liability account group also, right? Liability account group also. What is the number in behind that? Against this liability account group, it is 2000 to 2999. So now here, what is happening, guys? Set up a GL account, click on create, and give the first number 2000. Select the account group that is liability itself. It is a part of balance sheet, right? And here, account payable, I'm going to give, and then here, the same account payable here also I'm going to give here. Under control data, click on control data. Here nothing need to be done, guys. Simply you need to select here the reconciliation account type. You need to select vendor. Okay, and line item display. Here sort key, anything can be given, guys. I'm going to give 001. This sort key logic is already explained, guys. Don't be confused. And here, let's suppose field status group, I'm going to give 001. Okay, and save it. I made a mistake, guys. Here, field status group for reconciliation account, always Z067 is given by SAP. You have to use that one. Okay. Now, this is what the reconciliation account you have to give. So what is happening here? This reconciliation account I have created. Okay. Reconciliation account I have created. Now, what to do, guys? Then what next? The next one is, look at here. So we have done with the configurations part. Whatever the configurations are required to set up a vendor account, those configurations we have done. Now what next, guys? The next one is creation of vendor master. Okay, so in next session I'm going to show you how to set up a vendor master. So that's all in this session, guys. Next session I'll explain vendor master setup.